And I want to start today by talking about protecting something that is really incredibly important to all of us, and that is the integrity of our elections. In 2016, we were slow to identify Russian interference. We expected more traditional cyber attacks like phishing and malware and hacking, and we identified those and notified the right people, but we didn't expect these coordinated information operations and large networks of fake accounts that we're now aware of. So I sat down with our teams after this and we said, we will never be unprepared for this again. And since then, there have been important elections like the French presidential election, the German elections, the Alabama Senate special election last year, and we've been more prepared. We deployed new AI tools that successfully identified and took down tens of thousands of fake accounts before they could do anything. We've traced the fake account network back to Russia and taken down their network. We're doing more. We're requiring everyone running political and issue ads or running large pages to be verified with a government ID. We're making ads. That is a higher standard of transparency than TV ads or anything else you will find on the internet. 20,000 people working on security and content review at Facebook. And we've created an independent election research commission so independent academics can give us ideas and hold us accountable to make sure that these systems work. Now, this is an important election year. Not only the big US midterms that are coming up, but there are major elections around the world. In Mexico, in Brazil, there are elections coming up in India and Pakistan and more, and we are focused on this. Beyond elections, we are focused on fighting fake news more broadly. And there are really three categories that we're focused on here. The first category is just spam. Right? These are people who aren't ideological. They just want to make money, hucking the most sensationalist junk that they can come up with to get you all to click on it. These are the people who in the 90s would have been sending you Viagra emails. And the playbook here is pretty simple. Right? It's to take down their ads on their sites so they can't make money, build tools to detect and reduce the distribution to remove their economic incentive, and then eventually they just go do something else to go make money. And we're starting to see this. The second category is fake accounts. And the idea here is less focused on looking at the content specifically and more focused on trying to find bad actors and getting them off the network. So some of this is nation states who are politically motivated, like we talked about before. But all of this we're fighting in the same way, with AI tools, with thousands of content reviewers, and verifying people who are running large pages and running sensitive ads. Now, the third category is people, real people, who are just sharing provably false hoaxes. And the playbook here is building tools to get better at flagging content that is going viral, so fact checkers can look at it so we can show it less, and for the people who do see it, to make sure that they see related articles that are more accurate, that put this in context so people can understand what's really going on. So a lot of the work over the last year and a half has been bringing on more and more fact-checking partners all around the world in different countries who speak all of the different languages that we need to cover. So there's a lot more here to do. But these are the three basic categories, and we are making good progress on all of them. I also want to talk about data privacy. And what happened with Cambridge Analytica was a major breach of trust. An app developer took data that people had shared with them and sold it. So we need to make sure that this never happens again. We're taking a number of steps here. First, as you all know, we're restricting the data that developers will be able to request from people. Now, the good news here is that back in 2014, we already made a major change to how the platform works to prevent people from sharing a lot of their friends' information. So this specific situation could not happen again today. And since then, we've taken a lot more steps as well to restrict other data. But there's still more steps that we're taking to do this even further with groups and events and the data available through login to prevent future issues that might come up. Second, we need to make sure that we find any other bad apps that are out there. So we're currently in the process of investigating every single app that had access to a large amount of people's information before we made these big changes in 2014. And if we find anything suspicious, we're going to bring in independent auditors to do a full audit. And if any data was misused, then we'll ban that developer, and we will tell anyone whose data was affected. We've also started putting a tool in front of everyone that shows them all of the apps that they are using and lets them easily remove access to the ones that they no longer want to use. And with the GDPR coming up in Europe, we're asking everyone around the world, not just in Europe, to review your privacy controls. So to all the developers who are here, I know that the vast majority of you are focused on building good things. We need to take these steps to make sure that everyone on our platform is focused on building good things. And I believe that putting in these stronger protections now will give you more ability to keep building for the long term. Now, I also want to share one new thing that we're working on with data privacy. And we have a lot more updates like this coming. But this is an example of the kind of thing that we are working on. In your web browser, you today have a simple way to clear your cookies and clear your browser history. And the idea is that a lot of sites need this data to work. You need cookies. But you should have the ability to go in and clear your history at any point that you want. So we're working on a version of this for Facebook too. It's a simple control where you can clear your browsing history, what you've clicked on, the websites you visited, and so on. And we're going to call it Clear History. And we're starting with something that a lot of people have asked about recently, and that's the information that we get from websites and apps who are using Facebook's advertising and analytics tools. So you're going to be able to use this tool to see the information about the apps and websites you've interacted with. You'll be able to clear all this information from your account, and you'll even be able to turn it off, having this information stored with your account going forward. Now, to be clear, when you clear your cookies in a browser, it can make parts of your experience worse. You may have to sign back into websites. You may have to reconfigure some things. The same is going to be true here. But your Facebook won't be quite as good while it relearns your preferences. But after going through our systems, this is the kind of control that we think that people should have. So we're building this, and we're going to have a lot more like this to talk about soon. So overall, we're going to keep investing heavily in security and privacy. But security isn't a problem that you ever fully solve. This is an arms race. And we're going to be working to stay ahead of our adversaries forever. So while we're doing this, we also have a responsibility to keep building services that bring people together in new ways. Now, if you've been to F8 before, you've seen this. This is our 10-year product roadmap, and it sets out all of the different areas that we're working on and when we expect these ecosystems to be fully developed. And across all our products, our goal is to give everyone in the world the power to share anything they want with anyone, anywhere. To build stronger relationships, to break down geographic barriers, and to meet new people and interact in new ways. We have a lot to do here. So we are going to focus on we're going to keep building, even while we focus on keeping people safe. And we're going to talk about what we're going to be doing across the rest of the family of apps for the rest of today. So let's start with the Facebook app. Like all of you, we want to build something that's not just fun to use, but is good for people. So we've done a lot of research to understand what parts of the internet and social media are good for our well-being and which parts aren't. And the summary is that when you're using the internet to interact and to build relationships, then that is associated and correlated with all of the positive aspects of well-being that you'd expect. Better long-term health, better long-term happiness, feeling more connected, feeling less lonely, and so on. But when you're just using the internet to consume content passively, whether it's video or news, then that is not associated with these same benefits to well-being. And we've heard this feedback from a lot of people too. People want Facebook to be about friends and interacting with people, so we're going to do that. And I'm going to talk about a few new ways that we're focused on taking the experience in this direction. We're rolling out something that we call Watch Party, which lets you watch video and chat with your friends. So, let's say that your friend is testifying in Congress. For example, now you're going to be able to bring your friends together, and you can laugh together, and you can cry together. Some of my friends actually did this. Let's not do that again anytime soon. People often tell us that groups are the most meaningful part of Facebook. You can feel like you belong in a community. You can meet new people who share your values. For some people, this might be a support group for new parents. For others, it might be about a disease you have. For others, it might be about finding people to come together and volunteer. People want to be a part of meaningful communities. So today, we're launching a new Groups tab to make groups more central to the overall Facebook experience. So for me, I'm going to have all my groups in one place: my family group, my running group, my game group, my sheepdog appreciation group. It's all in one place. But to help more people grow their communities, we're building a join group button. Plug in that admins and developers can add to their websites and their emails. This is important because a lot of what we need to do to help more meaningful groups form is just give more tools to creators. Every